In today's video, we are going to be learning how to cut this beautiful dress with a stylish asymmetric neckline. So if it's something you would love to learn, do it to watch to the end, like, share and subscribe. So without further ado, let's get right into it. I'm going to rule a line here which is going to serve as my starting point and my shoulder line. So from this line, I'm going to come down to take my vertical measurement. From my shoulder to my bust point is 9.5 inches. I'll go ahead and extend this point across this way. So I'm going to come down to mark my waist point. So I'm using my shoulder to my waist point at the back, so there won't be need for me to take my bust darts. I'll go ahead and mark that and extend the point across, and these are all the measurements we need for the upper bodice. We are drafting the upper bodice first. So this is my waist point, this is my bust line. I'm going to come to the shoulder line, divide my shoulder by 2. My shoulder is 15 divided by 2 is 7.5. At that point, I'll come down by 1 inch for my shoulder slope. For the neck width, I'm going to be marking for, if you look at the thumbnail, you can see that the neck width is kind of wide. So it depends on how wide you want it. So I'm marking 4 inches for the neck width, and I'll connect from the shoulder slope to that point. Then I'm going to come to mark my chest line. How to mark your chest line? Divide your bust by 6, then add 1.5 inches to the measurement. I got 7. I'll go ahead and extend this point across. So this is my chest line. On my chest line, I'm going to mark my shoulder measurement here, the 7.5 inches. I'll mark it here to have a straight line. Then I'll connect from the shoulder slope all the way to this point this way. I'm going to come to this line here, divide it into 2 equal halves to get the midpoint. At the midpoint, I'll go in by half an inch. I'll come to the chest line, divide my bust circumference by 4, and I'll go ahead and connect all these points to form my armhole. So the next thing I'm going to mark now is my dart. Divide your nipple to nipple measurement by 2 minus 3.5. I'll mark it on the bust line and on the waistline. I'll connect the 2 points together like this. On my waistline, I'm going to be marking half an inch on both sides of our dart leg, and I'll come down from the bust line by 1 inch. I'll go ahead and connect the dart. And the next thing is to impute our round body measurement. We've already marked our bust measurement. I'll add my seam allowance. I'll come to the waistline, divide my waist by 4. I'll add my seam allowance. So I won't be replacing that dart because I'm going to be eliminating it from the side. I want the waist very snatched. That was why I didn't add the darts I took. Alright, so that means I'm snatching the waist by 1 inch, which I use for my dart. So I'm going to trace everything I have here to the other side so we can work on the neckline. So this is what we have. So I'm going to come down from the neck width here by 6.5 inches. It depends on how deep you want it. You can do 6, do 7, then I'll connect this together. Then on the other side of the neck, I'm going to come down by 4.5 inches. Please pay attention to this part, and I'll connect from there to that 4.5 inches. Then on the center here, this crease line we have here, from the center here, I'm going to come down for my neck depth by 3.5 inches here. I'll come down by 3.5 inches here, and I'm going to connect all these points together. Please do pay attention to how I'm placing my curve rule so that you get it. So I'm going to connect from there to this point, and also from this point to this other side here. You can see the shape of our neck coming out already, and I'm going to blend this sharp edge here, and this is basically it for the neck. If you leave this neck like this, it's going to gape. So we are going to contour it so that it doesn't gape. So I will connect from any point to our dart. Pick any point from the neck and connect it to your dart this way. And I'm going to mark half an inch on both sides of this line like this. So we're going to tighten up this place, and I'll connect it back to my dart leg. By the time you do this, you won't worry about your neck gaping. Okay, so this is basically it for the neck. What we are going to do right now is to go ahead and cut it out. So I'm going to cut my dart here open so that I can close the upper dart that we have here. So after closing it, you can see that our lines are no longer aligning. So I'm going to align the lines properly. Make sure to close it and align your lines this way. So this is what we have. What I'm going to do right now is to go ahead and cut it out. So you can see what we have here. This came out so beautiful. So we are going to also tighten up the shoulder so that it will relax very well on our body. So I'm going to come down from here by half an inch. and I'll connect it back into the shoulder like this. I'll also do the same thing on this other side. Please do well to do all the contouring I'm doing here so that your neck can relax very well. And I'll connect it back this way, and this is basically it. I'll go ahead and cut this excess that we have up here, and this is basically it for the front pattern. And this is what we have. I'm going to keep this aside so that we can work on the back pattern first. So for the back pattern, I have my zipper allowance of 1 inch, my bust line, and my waistline. So I'm going to come to the shoulder line, divide my shoulder by 2 here. I'll come down by 1 inch for my shoulder slope. I'll come here to mark my neck width of 4 inches. The back neck width and the front must be the same. Alright. I'll connect from the shoulder slope all the way to that point this way. So I'm going to be marking 1 inch for the neck depth for the back. I'm going to mark 1 inch here, and I'll connect from the neck width all the way to that point into the zipper allowance this way. The next thing is to mark the chest line using the same formula we use for the front. Divide your bust by 6, add 1.5 inches to the measurement, and I will extend the point across this way. On my chest line, I'm going to mark my shoulder measurement here, and I will connect from the shoulder slope all the way to that point. We are literally repeating what we did on the front pattern. So I'm going to divide this line into 2 equal halves to get a midpoint. At the midpoint, I'll go in by 1/2 inch, come to the chest line, divide my bust circumference by 4, and I'll go ahead and connect my armhole this way. The next thing is to mark out our dart. Divide your nipple to nipple measurement by 2. I'll mark it on the chest line, bust line, and on the waistline. I'll go ahead and connect all these points together. On the waistline, I'm going to be marking 1/2 inch on both sides of our dart leg. Come down from the chest line by 1 inch, and I'll connect my dart this way. The next thing is to impute our measurement. We've already marked our bust measurement. I'll add my seam allowance, come to the waistline, divide my waist by 4. I'm going to mark it right here and add my seam allowance. Like I say, we are not going to replace that dart because I'm going to be taking it out from the side, and I want the waist very snatched, so we are not replacing it. So I'm going to come to the waist point here, mark 1/2 inch here on the zipper allowance, and connect it up this way. This is to eliminate the zipper bulge we normally have around this area, and this is basically it for the back. So to eliminate this dart we have here, I'm going to go in by that 1 inch here, and I'll connect it back into our line this way. So this is what I was talking about by eliminating the darts. So you can see now that I have reduced the waist by 1 inch. So the waist is going to be very snatched on me, and this is it. We'll keep this so that we can work on the skirt pattern. For the skirt pattern, I have my waistline, my hip line, and the full length. I'm going to use the whole of this pattern paper as the full length. So I'm going to come to the waistline, divide my waist by 4. I'm going to mark it right here, and I'll come to the hip line, divide my hip by 4. I'm going to mark it right here, add my seam allowance. I will also add my seam allowance on the waistline. Then I'm going to, whatever I have here, I'm going to minus 1 inch from it and mark it on the hemline, and I'll go ahead and connect my points together. And this is basically it for the skirt. So the 1 inch we eliminated on the upper bodice on the waistline, we're also going to do it on the skirt line, on the skirts, so that we can have the waist equal, we can have them even. All right, so I'll just connect it. I eliminated the 1 inch and then connect it back to our original line, and this is basically it. So we're going to do something here. I'm going to mark my nipple to nipple measurement here and then come down by 1 inch here. This is to give our skirt a very perfect look at the back, so that we will not have that zipper bulge around the waist. So this is basically it for the skirt part. So I'm going to bring in the upper bodice to show you that the waist is even. You can see it here. And the reason we came down by that 1 inch on the skirt is because our back is not straight. You can see the gap there. By the time you join it, the zipper is going to lay very flat. And this is it for this tutorial. So we've come to the end of this tutorial. If you find this video helpful, please do wait to like, share, and subscribe. And if you have any questions, drop it in the comment section, and we'll see you in the next video. Bye.